Hey guys, it's Jason, Surviving Dad Life. I cleaned up an area of the yard, see if I can get that had a bunch of stuff on it. And it's bare now, there's no grass there or anything. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the area ready. I'm gonna pre-germinate some grass seed, and then we're gonna get it planted and see how well it takes over. So on today's video, that's what I'll be doing, is hopefully teaching you guys how to pre-germinate, and maybe I'll be learning on my own. So here we go. All right, in order to pre-germinate my grass seed, this is what you're gonna need. Of course, you're gonna need grass seed. Now, I just picked this stuff up at Walmart. This is Bermuda grass by Pennington. But I mean, I'm not gonna tell you what grass seed to use, or, you know, whatever you can find, afford, whatever. I can't remember what I paid for this, but it was less than $100 for 15 pounds. I've seen some grass seed that you can get like a 50-pound bag for like $350. So if that's what you want to do, by all means, go for it. The other stuff you're going to need is, the way I'm going to do it is with 2 buckets. Okay? And in order to get this ready, you're going to need some tools. In the top bucket, you are going to put a few holes in the bottom of this bucket. I have no idea what size people recommend, what they say to do, so I'm just going to pull something out that looks good, and what do you know, we're going to call it 1/4 inch. So it doesn't have to be specific, you just need holes in the bucket. I think you guys get the idea. All right, done with that tool. So I got my holes in my bucket. The next thing you're going to need to do is put your crap up. You're going to need to get you some paint strainer bags. These I ordered off Amazon. I'll put a link down in the description where you can get them. They're relatively cheap. You might be able to reuse them, I don't know. But we're going to get one of these bags out. All right, we're going to take it and put it down in our bucket that we put the holes in. Okay? That area over there in my yard is roughly 2,000 square feet. This bag says it weighs 15 pounds and it covers up to 15,000 square feet. So I'm going to get 2 pounds of this grass seed and pour it in here. I don't have any kind of fancy scale or anything, so I'm going to use my fishing scale here. All right, I got it zeroed out. We're going to see how much my bucket weighs. All right, my bucket weighs 1.8 pounds. So when I get done with this, I need this to weigh 3.8 pounds. All right, I don't know if you guys have ever seen grass seed in general, but especially Bermuda grass seed. Man, the seeds are tiny. So I have no idea how much is it what, so I'm just going to put a big old scoop in there, and we'll weigh it and see where I'm at. All right, let's see what kind of weight we're setting at now. I think earlier we were 1.8 pounds. Okay, we're at 2.9 pounds, so it's about a pound in a scoop. It's not bad. Okay, we'll get it back up. .76. I'm nitpicky. All right, 3.88. So that's about 2 pounds of Bermuda grass seed. Now I'm going to take my bag, and you guys can see I got my seed in here. I'm going to take my bag and I'm going to tie it off. Don't tie it off like super tight, because I mean later you might want to just reuse the bag or something. But there you go, got it tied off. I'm going to put it down in my bucket. Next, we're going to move and we're going to... Okay, my camera keeps like stopping recording because I guess it's too hot for it outside. And I don't understand that, because here I am, fat boy, and I'm outside just fine. Anyway, I weighed it out and I got 2 pounds of Bermuda seed put in my bag here. The only thing we're going to do now is the bucket that doesn't have the holes in it. We're going to fill it with water. I'd start out by filling it up like halfway, and then after that we're going to put our other bucket in and see how much it rises. I don't know how well y'all can see this. If you can see it, but I got my water in my bucket. This is the bucket with the holes in it and the grass seed, and I'm just going to drop it in. And we want the water to come up and fully submerge the seeds. Now this water is going to be green because there's some kind of coating on the seeds. Now your grass seed, it'll want to float in here, so get some kind of rock or a stepping stone or something and put it in here on top of your seeds to hold them down. Okay, I'm going to take this, just an edger, and put it down in here on top of my seed to hold it down. Now, I'm going to leave this soaking in the water for 12 hours. After 12 hours, I'm going to come out, lift this top piece off, dump the water out, and then we will fill it back up and we'll soak it again. We're going to do this for about 3 to 5 days, and then after it's pre-germinated, and then I'll show you what that looks like. You'll see roots starting to pop out of them. That's when we will, go over and put out our seed. But anyway, I'll see you guys here in a few hours. All right, just a real quick update. I've had my grass seed soaking in water for 1 day now. It's draining off there. I've had, I've dumped the water once, and now I'm doing it a second time every 12 hours. I'm changing the water out, but I'll flip it over and let you guys see if, what the seed looks like. Okay, nothing's really changed. It still looks just like grass seed. So I'm going to fill up my water container again. I'm going to dump this stuff out. I'm going to find a container to put this in because this has got some nutrients in it that I can use later. But anyway, that's my this is going to be 24-hour update on the grass seed. We'll fill it back up with water and we'll put the seed back in and we'll dump it again in 12 hours. All right, back again, and it's hotter than a place that you go if you're not a very nice guy. All right, woo, sprinklers on and that's cold. It's been 2.5, almost 3 days. here's the seed. I'm gonna go down here where I don't get sprayed. I'll flip y'all over where you can see this. All right, I don't know how well y'all can see this, but like those little white things that are sticking out, those are roots starting to come out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this back in, if I can get you over there, the water here. And we're gonna leave this probably one more day. And then we should be able to plant seed tomorrow. Okay, here's the spot that I'm going to plant my seed at. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the, I've got a large dethatcher. I'm gonna put this on the mower and I'm gonna scrape all this up, get all this stuff off here, bag it up, and I'm gonna score the land real good. That way my seed's got somewhere to go. Okay, so for the most part, I got all the grass clippings picked up. That Toro mower is freaking awesome. So now, I don't know if you guys can saw it, this ground is really hard. And I wish I had like a compactor or a aerator, but I don't. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix up some topsoil and some sand, and I'm gonna spread it over this area that's up here close to the house, and maybe just a little ways up here. See if you guys can see that, where that ant hill used to be, and get it prepared for seed tomorrow. All right, I had to go inside and cool off for a minute. It's like 94 degrees outside, but it says it feels like 105. Even my dogs don't like being out here. And plus the camera keeps overheating like every 10 minutes, so I'm not able to stick on this. So I'm gonna put the camera like over here in the shade somewhere, and hopefully y'all can see over here at as to what I'm doing. Okay, we'll try this, see how good it works. I gotta clean out the my little wagon thing here, or you gonna call it trailer. Whew. Man, these things are getting hot. Sure wish I had my cameraman. Even I think he's too hot. He's probably out hanging out with friends or something. Can't blame him though. I was a kid once too. Oh man. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take probably 4 bags of topsoil and put in here, and then 1 bag of sand. Sand I think is gonna help moisten that up, not moisten it, soften it up, but then it's also going to help me evenly like spread it out and like make my topsoil go farther. Topsoil is not outrageously expensive. I think, and you guys don't knock Walmart brand stuff. I've been getting Walmart's lawn feed, and it actually works pretty good. It's a lot cheaper than the name brand stuff, and come to find out it's actually made by the name brand stuff. So here's one bag of topsoil. Bag number 2. This stuff is going to be so much better than what I got over there. And that's the other thing, is topsoil isn't like outrageously expensive. I mean, garden soil is, I think, because, you know, you've got, they think your garden is so much more sacred, I guess. Might have to get a knife for this, but this is just regular old multi-purpose sand. Once I get all this stuff in here and get it mixed up, I'll let y'all take a look. Well, let's take a look now. Okay, here's what I've got so far. It's just sand and topsoil. But I'm gonna mix this in real good, and then we'll get it spread out over there. All right, I'm getting this stuff mixed up fairly well. I might just take this over there and start with this. See how it goes. So, you know what? I'm gonna put 2 more. I'm gonna put the rest of it in there. Okay, I got a couple of low spots here. I'm gonna take care of them and try to level them out as good as I can. And then I'm gonna spread a thin layer, anywhere from 1/4 to 1/2 inch of this topsoil and sand mixture. I think after I get this stuff down, I probably should put a little bit of water on it. That spot there is really low. It's a rough work on a fat boy. But in the end, it's gonna be worth it. I'm thinking about right here, making this my outdoor kitchen and moving, you know, once I get my grass to grow, moving all my cooking stuff and my little table that I use all the time. This should get me a pretty decent layer. I mean, I'm talking about a 1/4 of an inch or so. And this should really help out the soil. Well, if you want to call this soil, it's mainly just sand. All right, I don't know what happened. I was recording and I guess the camera got hot again. I've got this stuff spread out as good as I can right now. Tomorrow we're gonna come out and we're gonna spread the grass seed. And then I got one more thing I'm gonna put on top of it, and then we're gonna give it a good watering. All right, it's been just a little over 3 days. And what I'm gonna do is, since the seed has a fertilizer on the outside of it, I'm gonna put 1/2 cup of the seed in this bucket. My seed that I pre-germinated, since it's wet, I'm gonna put it in here too. It's still kind of damp. It hadn't all completely dried out. Okay. That other seed that I put in here, the green one, I'm gonna put in just a little bit more to help dry out the other seed so it spreads easier. Okay, then the other thing I'm gonna put in there is Milorganite. This is a fertilizer. You should put in 2 to 4 pounds of Milorganite for every 1 pound of seed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in, I got 2 pounds of seed, so I'm going to put in about 3 pounds of this Milorganite. You know, you'd think doing this as long as I have, but I'd remember to like grab a knife. So, and Milorganite, it smells delicious. Okay, 1. 2, and I was being a smart aleck, Milorganite stinks. Okay, the Milorganite's gonna be like my starter fertilizer. So I'm gonna see if I can find me a stick so I can stir this stuff up. Golly, I walked away from this and went downwind, and you can still smell it. So I'm gonna get this stuff stirred up, help dry it out a little bit so my seed spreads evenly. Once I get this stirred up, then we'll throw it in the sprayer or the spreader, and then we'll put it out. All right, I got everything stirred up real good. Then we're gonna put it in the spreader. And this thing's jumping around a lot. All right, I got my seed and my fertilizer in there. We're just gonna get her dumped right on in. All right, then we're gonna get this stuff spread. All right, I'm gonna put a majority of it right here, probably make like 2 passes over it. Then after I get it spread over there, then I'll just scatter the rest of it out in this area. Oh yeah. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna lightly rake this so I can get decent soil contact with my seed. All right, before I put any water down, I'm going to put down a real thin layer of peat moss. This stuff will help retain moisture, especially in this area. It gets like 100% sun, like all day long. And then I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've got my sprinkler set up over there. So after I get this peat moss spread out, we're gonna water it down. And like right now, this peat moss is moist, and it's been sitting out in the sun for I don't know how long. But I'm gonna get this spread out, and then I'm gonna rake it. This stuff will really hold in the moisture and keep my seed wet. Okay, sorry, my camera keeps overheating. I don't know why, because I had it in the shade, but I got the peat moss all spread out on this bare area. Fertilizer, all that good stuff. Peat moss over here. Now, the sprinkler's going, and I'm gonna have to reset it so it'll quit doing the selective area. There we go. And I'm gonna water this thing down. I'm gonna give it a real good soaking, and then after it gets soaked real good, I'll come out here 2 to 3 times a day and make sure it's getting water. Now that peat moss should help absorb and hold water, but since this gets sun all day long, it might struggle with it. So we're gonna make sure we put water on it 2 or 3 times a day. All right, guys, well, that was me germinating and planting seed. When I bring y'all back, it'll be maybe about a week, and I'll do an update over the grass seed, and we'll see how it goes. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and tell me how your yard's going this year. But I'll catch you guys on the next video.